Welcome to Fairytale World.
Once upon a time, in the grand empire of Noorabad, there ruled a wise and noble king named Tamiruddin. His reign was known for its peace and prosperity, but the dearest treasure of his life was his only daughter, Princess Mehak Noor. Mehak Noor's beauty was the talk of 7 kingdoms, radiant as dawn, graceful as moonlight. Yet, there was something about her that deeply troubled the king. The princess had a strange obsession, a love so consuming that it had become her very identity. She was madly in love with roses, especially red roses. When she walked, she wanted petals scattered beneath her feet. When she slept, her bed was layered with crimson blossoms. Her dresses, her room, even her dining plates, all were adorned with roses. The king often sighed to his grand vizier. "What sort of passion is this? The treasury drains day by day, all for her roses. If it continues, the future of Noorabad will wilt before her flowers ever do." The vizier bowed and advised gently, "Your Majesty, perhaps if the princess were married to a prince who owns vast gardens of roses, her heart, and your worries, would finally be at peace." The king found wisdom in his words and declared an announcement across the lands. "Whosoever prince possesses the most beautiful gardens of roses may come to Noorabad and ask for the hand of Princess Mehak Noor." Princes from distant realms arrived, bringing rare roses of blue, white, and gold. They presented perfumes and blossoms that bloomed only once a century. But each time, the princess would smile faintly and whisper, "These are lovely, but none carry the fragrance that can touch my heart." One day, as the palace gates opened to yet another visitor, a quiet prince entered, Prince Jerion. He wore no jewels, carried no gifts of gold. In his hand, he held only a single red rose. But that rose, it seemed to breathe. Its petals shimmered faintly, as if a heartbeat pulsed within. The princess frowned, intrigued. "Only one rose? You bring me nothing else?" Jerion smiled softly. "This is not an ordinary rose, princess. My mother gave it to me with her dying breath. Its fragrance never fades, for it carries her prayer within it. Whoever loves this rose, loves the soul it was born from, mine." When Mehak Noor brought the rose close to her face, she felt its scent descend deep into her chest, not just to her senses, but to her very heart. It was unlike anything she had ever known. The king, watching closely, spoke. "Prince, if you truly are worthy of Mehak Noor, you must bring roses from the Valley of Crimson Blossoms, a place beyond the mountains and dark forests, where no man has returned alive." Without hesitation, Jerion bowed. "I will bring them back, Your Majesty." He set out alone. He faced storms that tore trees apart, wild beasts that circled him in the night, and thorn paths that drew blood from every step. But he pressed on, guided by the memory of his mother's rose. At last, he reached the fabled valley. There, under silver moonlight, the red roses glowed like tiny flames scattered upon the earth. He plucked a few, and as he turned to leave, a thorn cut his hand. His blood fell upon one rose, and the petals seemed to shimmer brighter, as if awakened by the warmth of his pain. When Jerion returned to Noorabad, the kingdom rejoiced. The princess smiled truly for the first time. Preparations for the royal wedding began. The palace walls, the corridors, even the sky seemed filled with the scent of roses. On the wedding night, the princess's gown was made of soft rose silk, and in her hair rested the very flower Jerion had brought from the Valley of Crimson Blossoms. As they sat together, Jerion gently took her hand and said, Mehak Noor, love is only beautiful when it's free. If you seek joy only within roses, you will lose the rest of the world. Love the rose, but don't forget to love life too. The princess smiled, her eyes glistening. Perhaps you're right, Jerion. Roses are the language of my heart. But you are its peace. From that night on, her obsession turned into understanding. She still adored roses, but now, every petal reminded her of love, not longing. And it is said that even today, when spring comes to Noorabad, a rare crimson rose blooms in the royal gardens. Its scent so deep, it feels alive. People whisper that it is the very rose born from Jerion's blood and Mahaknor's love. A rose that never dies.